Greetings, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. Me and my, affectionately referred to as my Kurt Rambis glasses from the old Lakers legend are here, my new glasses. Yo, I've never had such strong and sturdy glasses. I know it sounds weird, but if you don't have glasses, you gotta realize, like, not all glasses are built the same, especially for people who have crooked ears like I do. Like, I've never driven with glasses and not had them slide off at least a little bit down my nose. These things are like cement. They stay on your eyes exactly where they set, and I'm excited to teach with them because I think it's going to make me a better professor because I'm not going to have to fidget with my glasses during my lectures. Imagine that. So, in the spirit of new glasses looking like I'm wearing some kind of discontinued Toys R Us toy, we have this guy to talk about, the Destroyer. And I've got a bunch of takeaways from this guy to talk about. I think my channel is at its best when I take my time and I give my unique perspective on something. When I rush a video, when I just do a quick crystal opener, who wants to watch that, you know? And as I continue to evolve my content this year and think about a channel post MCOC where I think I'm a good storyteller. I use crystal openings to tell stories. I have a lot of stories about my life that nobody would believe, and I think storytelling with Prof. Hoff would be such a fun channel to just look into my webcam and tell the craziest stories. Not stories that will get me fired, but stories that will make you feel more and more like you know me and maybe like you can relate. You know, that's what makes it fun. So I'm working with Israel. She's going to be a partner with me going forward. When we get married, we're going to run some things together and just be a team because we're such an unbeatable team. And as good as I am by myself, I'm much better when I'm with her. So if that was too much cheese and sweetness for you to start off a video, I apologize for nothing. Sorry, I'm not sorry. Let's continue. So, the Destroyer, basically it's a fancy way to say we're going to find another reason to nerf Hercules silently. We know that Kabam Miike was all over the forums a couple weeks ago talking about how Hercules was going to get nerfed. It was not an if, but a when. And that forum post still exists, and if you want to go back and look at his phrasing and his saying and just judge his words for yourself, it's there. But this is an indirect way to nerf Hercules because what makes Hercules so great is his awakened ability to be indestructible and get unblockable specials. Especially in incursions when you take 20% less power to build up to your specials and when you do more crit damage during specials and all those big, beautiful yellow numbers. And here we have a discussion about survivability. When you say survivability, you mean a tanky defender. This guy's going to be a wreck. Now, he needs to kind of be skilled at intercepting, which is not great for the new AI. The new AI kind of punishes you for intercepting. And Kabam Miike talked a little bit about this, but Karate Miike, I think a evolved, more fun version of Kabam Miike, always does these amazing previews, these champion spotlights that I encourage you all to look at on YouTube. But it says the Destroyer goal is to build enough destruction charges to activate its powerful power gain so it quickly reaches the special 3. Destruction charges can be gained by activating the special 1 attack, intercepting, punishing heavy, and special attacks. Once the Destroyer gains enough charges, it can inflict long-lasting degen with the special 3. Once the special 3 has been activated, the opponent is suffering from degen. Loop the special 2 as often as possible in order to combo the effects from special 2 and the degen from special 3. I don't think he's a great recoil masteries champion, but he does seem to be a great power gain champion that I'm guessing with some Mystic Dispersion, you're going to get to that special 3 like Doctor Strange level historically fast. And yes, he is a mystic. So, strengths and weaknesses, protection against opponents with buffs. The Destroyer gains a protection that reduces any incoming damage, power gain, and immunities. Destroyer is immune to many common effects and is also immune to slow, while being able to go unstoppable. That's a big deal. Weaknesses, non-damaging debuffs. Wither, which is not a common debuff. No buffs. So maybe champs like Crossbones? I don't know. Actually, Crossbones gains a lot of Furies. I don't know why I said that. Guillotine 29. Just different. I'm throwing stuff out. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just speaking off the old dome, and that's very risky. Alright, the Destroyer is a magical non-magnetic. Somehow, if he's non-magnetic, this is also kind of nerfing red mags? Is that a hot take? Because you would think that if Magneto fought the Destroyer in real life, it'd be like Magneto versus Iron Man, even though I've been told in the comics, Iron Man defeats Magneto. I don't understand how that works. But people much smarter than I am in Marvel lore will say, actually, Prof, it's not that complicated because of X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, oh. That's why you're much smarter and more knowledgeable about comic book lore than I am. The Destroyer is a killing machine devoid of emotions, immune to infuriate and intimidate. All attacks destroy any indestructible and immortality buffs on the opponent. Make no mistake about it. When I say they're nerfing Hercules indirectly, this is what I mean. I'm not trying to be clickbaity. I'm not trying to be dramatic. But if you cancel out, which is not uncommon for Mystics, you shouldn't feel good about putting a Cosmic Defender against a Mystic champion in general. But this is another example of somebody who just wipes away the immortality buff of Hercules. This is a great way to nerf Hercules without directly nerfing Hercules. And for the record, I'm cool with this. Kabam, I'm going to make a longer video about this. Kabam is like a soap opera. I grew up watching a old soap opera with my mom, single parent, called One Life to Live. I was obsessed with it. There was this incredible train storyline where these characters were trapped on a train that had derailed. And actually, the show was not one of the highest rated soap operas of the 90s and 2000s, but that particular storyline won some Emmys, or at least was nominated for some Emmys, which was huge. And in that storyline, you get ready to feel as though everybody's been saved, and you take a deep breath and you feel like it's over, and then you look up and one of the characters you didn't think about commits a crime or causes a character to do something unethical, and suddenly you have a new storyline. That is MCOC in a nutshell. It is a comic book soap opera where every time we think we've won the game, they have to create someone new to destroy the person who just won the game, so now you have to destroy the new person. It's genius, and it's the only way this game has survived. But Hercules is so good that for the first time they created somebody that won the game and still years later is winning the game. They haven't created enough counters to make him irrelevant. Now they could do that with nodes, and that's what I tell people. Just do that with nodes. I don't think anybody who uses Herc, but Herc is not going to be best for a node, is going to complain. They're just going to use somebody else. But nerfing his actual utility directly is the worst way to do it. So I'm for this approach. The buff destroy ability does not trigger Mystic Dispersion because it is not a nullify. That is an interesting developer note. Although I still think Mystic Dispersion wouldn't hurt with this guy. And the Destroyer is passively unstoppable while dashing toward the opponent plus 0.5 seconds after. If struck while dashing unstoppable, this effect goes on cooldown for 15 seconds or until the opponent gains 3 buffs. And then while the opponent has an active buff, gains a protection passive, reducing damage taken by 5%. Max 5 buffs. Does that mean a max 25%? Maybe. So, the unstoppable dashing offers some nice protection for safe intercepts, allowing the Destroyer to gain lots of destruction charges. The protection it gains against buffs, while nice for an attacker, is especially powerful when the Destroyer is the defender. You better believe that I'm going to awaken this guy and put all my SIGs into him soon. And that is the reason why I'm spending so many revives on everything from Karina's challenges to especially Winter of Woe. Because I want those 100 SIG stones for 6 stars as much as possible to put them into new champions like the Destroyer. And I say it's for Battlegrounds. I hate Battlegrounds. It's not like I'm suddenly going to do more than 3 fights every 2 days. You know? It is what it is. And then we have the Special Attack 1, Crushing Strike, Special Attack 2, Vibroblast. First hit pauses any degen effects for 10 seconds. That's pretty amazing when you go back to back with these. And then as a defender, his Special 2 always packs enough punch to one-shot you. So never try to block the Visor Blast attack. As an attacker, the Special 2 is a lot more powerful if activated when the opponent is suffering from a degen. So you want to kind of loop them, as they showed on the effects. And Special Attack 3 inflicts a degen passive, dealing one of up. So, overall, I think this champion, and we've got a Morningstar synergy, Maestro and Overseer, Penny Parker, Howard the Duck, Odin, Loki, Mystic Dispersion. Shocker that I said that. Now, what's interesting is the Destroyer is immune to poison and bleed, so it can make good use of these masteries without any of the negative effects. Okay, but counterpoint, you still take recoil damage. So unless you're finishing off the match with one Special 2, and maybe you will, because a Special 3 does not take recoil damage, but a Special 2 does. So if you can loop a Special 3 into a Special 2 and have that in the fight, you won't take recoil damage. But if you will, you'll take at least 5%. Now, it's not that big of a deal if you loop back-to-back Special 2s and you have enough damage, but it is worth mentioning. This is a much longer video than normal, and I still rush through it. I like that they now recommend relics like Ghost Rider and Jugs. I think that's cool that they're building that into these champion spotlights. Make no mistake about it. This champ is the right way to nerf Hercules. If it's going to happen, do it through mechanics. Don't do it through direct abilities. So that is my takeaway. This is longer than normal. Sorry it's a 10-minute plus video, but some people prefer the long videos. I try not to make them that often. So hopefully you don't mind this one being a little longer. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.